So I don't know who the Mavs beat, to be honest. I know they beat the Spurs, and then I know
Brooklyn.
they beat Brooklyn tonight.
No, the other night they beat New Orleans tonight.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's a good win. Oh wait, no, New
Yeah,
Orleans played Golden State tonight. They must have played them yesterday.
maybe. I don't know. Luka's averaging like 41. Maybe I saw this
'Cause I
signal.
saw like Steph had like 40 on the Pelicans, and it was like the third quarter.
Yeah, he shot like 15 out of 20. Grizzlies. They beat the Grizzlies tonight.
Oh, okay. See that's not. Holy frick, bro! The Laker game just started, and it's freaking score is going up quick. No defense for the Lakers once again. Let's go.
Steph is the only dude that can do anything on the Warriors right now.
They look good though.
This Paul's kind of
They
nice.
look alright. They look alright. What's their record? Two
I
and
don't
one.
know.
They just lost to Phoenix opening
Steph
night,
had
and then
some
3-1.
awful turnovers.
I didn't watch the game tonight, but I know that they are like actually
Are
not
you
turning
guys
the ball
both
over.
with me that are you guys both with me that Devin Booker is better than Kevin Durant, right?
No,
Like 100%. Yes, he is.
I don't.
Does anybody else watch the game? What is going on?
Devin Booker's not playing. What do you mean?
Kevin Durant.
Watch the games.
He's shooting. He shoots like 70% from the floor.
Devin? That's because he has Durant on his team.
Durant shoots like 35%. Don't do that.
All right, Booker doesn't play like alone. Like he's not playing if Durant's not playing. Even if Durant's playing, he's not playing, bro. Load management for him. All right, all right. What is up, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Up in the Air, where we debate hot topics in the NBA and we discuss some beautiful NBA topics. Tonight, we're going to dive deep. First week of the NBA season is in store. Balin, how's it going tonight, bro?
Well, how are you?
Stressed every night when my Lakers play. Stressed, bro. What about you, Bryden? How you doing?
100%.
I'm doing well. I'm liking that the Lakers are not doing so well, and I'm liking that the Nuggets are doing well.
Yeah, they're.
Liking it.
Yeah, I'm not liking that, man. Dang it. Hope Utah comes through tonight for me. You know, does the deed. Does the deed. I would love it. D'Angelo Russell just dunked right now, which is a little surprising, but
First time in his career.
the Lakers bench went wild right now. But all right, well, like we did our Western Conference predictions last week, and Bryden, you missed a little bit of it. Do you want us to go over them with you real quick? Well,
Tell me what you guys had. I don't have to say what I had
yeah.
just to save the time, but I want to hear what you guys had.
Together we had we'll just go from the top. I think we had Denver at 1, Phoenix at 2, Lakers were at 3, Golden State was at 4, New Orleans ended up at 5, Minnesota ended up at 6, even though Balin had them as his second seed. But with our averages, turned up at 6. Sacramento 7. Oklahoma City ended up at 8. Memphis ended up at 9, and Clippers at 10, and then Dallas at 11. That's just pretty much it. So that's what we had last week when we did our predictions. But this week we're gonna do Eastern Conference predictions. So we're gonna dive into the less competitive side of the NBA, you know? So, you guys ready to dive in? I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Do it. I'm excited.
Woo! Let's go. We'll do the same thing again. Here, one second, actually. Do the same thing again with, like, averaging out and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just
do
grab
it.
my notebook that I was writing everything down, and All right. All right. Who wants to start with their 15 seed? Anybody?
I can go.
All right. All
Let
right.
me go.
Let me go.
Alrighty, first pod we ever did. I already bashed this team for being terrible. Charlotte Hornets, worst team I think in the league. Just Melo's not bad. Doesn't play winning basketball. Maybe he will this year. We'll see. Lack of talent at every other position, basically. Barry Rozier plays bad style of basketball. Mark Williams, your starting center. He's a good defensive player. PJ Washington is okay. He's got a nice little jump shot on him. Brandon Miller, I think he's got a shot to be good. We'll see. It's always going to be growing pains. I mean, you can look at what Scoot's doing right now. Scoot can't even make a shot right now.
Oh, I got called out like that, bro.
Okay. I'm just explaining how rookie basketball works. I mean, Wemby puts in 15, and the Twitter says he was better than Jokic that night. But yeah, so I'm not sold on Charlotte doing much of anything.
Bro.
I think once we hit the stride of the season and teams are the teams that have new players are figuring out how to play together.
Yeah.
They won't be very competitive against any good teams. So
Charlotte
at 15.
Charlotte will be the first team to 10 wins, though. Let's all be real. They're starting off well. No, I'm just kidding. What do you got for 15, Bryden?
Same boat. So my note was LaMelo can only do so much. Decent pieces on the team. They have decent pieces, like Balin just said.
Yep.
Not nearly close to other teams in the conference. So Hornets have the pieces. LaMelo can only do so much, and he's been hurt the last couple seasons anyways. So I think the Hornets do fall to last place in the Eastern Conference.
I also
Don't stand a chance.
Got the Hornets as well. Just looking at the roster, just looking at everything that's gone on in the offseason with Bridges and Kai Jones, and they're struggling right now, man. Like, everything's going wrong. So I just don't see them playing winning basketball. I see them being distracted the whole year, and they're going to be the bottom of the barrel. They're going to get the number 1 pick. They're going to get they're going to pick Bronny James. So, yeah.
Michael Jordan said, "I'm out."
Yeah, Michael Jordan said he's out. Yeah. That's rough. That's tough.
Yep.
We don't want no part of that.
Exactly.
All right. Balin, do you want to kick it off again with 14?
Man.
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
I didn't hear your 14.
Oh, I was saying it was unanimous 15 seed, so.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What the heck? Why is it not working? Okay, there it is.
My 14.
Yes, sir.
Got you. I got the Washington Wizards at 14. I think they're pretty thin in terms of front court. Kuzma's kind of a front court player, not really a front court player. I think Gafford's their starting center. He's not a starter on any winning team. Corey Kispert, he's supposed to be a shooter guy, but he's not at the same level of shooter guys that are on winning teams. I think Jordan Poole's a good player. I know he gets a lot of flack for everything, but I think he's a good player. He showed a lot in the NBA Finals. But just overall, Tyus Jones is their starting point guard. He's a backup level point guard for the NBA.
Wow.
They're just not as talented.
Backup level point guard, okay.
Kuzma's fine. I don't want to bash Kuzma, but I don't think Kuzma is anywhere near an all-star level player in my mind. So I got them. I got them at 14. I think maybe it could be a little bit better than some of the teams ahead of them, but I would trust the teams I have ahead of them, teams that have more experience. playing together, and as well as like other young teams that are.
Uh-oh. Balin? Can you hear Balin still, Bryden? Frick.
We'll see. Prove me wrong. I know you love him, Steven, so you can go ahead.
Okay,
Tell me I'm wrong.
You cut out for a bit there, Balin. Not gonna lie. You cut out there for a bit, but I am not gonna prove you wrong at all. I got the Wizards at 14 as well. Yeah, I just don't see that. Honestly, I made my list last week, and I changed it this week. I don't know if that's messed up. I don't know if I should have done that or not, but I did have them at 10 before their first game, and then I was like, all right, never mind. I was like, they're 14. So I put them at 14. I think they're whack. I think Jordan Poole doesn't care, and he needs structure, and if he couldn't flourish with the Warriors, he can't do it with the Wizards. It's going to be rough season. 14th seed for the Wizards. What do you got, Bryden?
I'm going against the grain with you guys a little bit.
Okay.
I have the Raptors.
Woo.
They don't have star power. They have Siakam. I think that's pretty much it that they have. They have a good defensive team.
Yeah.
But offensively, I don't think they have anyone that can really carry the load that they need. They don't have star power that they need. I think their defense will be able to help them. But I don't think they'll be able to do much more than that. So I have the Raptors at 14.
Okay.
I think they're going to regress a lot, losing what's his name? The point guard. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I think they've just lost a lot in the last couple years. Kyle Lowry's gone. I just don't think they have the pieces necessary to go much further than that. So
Yeah. All right. Balin, you got 13? Balin? I can't hear you.
You hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Now
Okay.
Alright, it's just a little slow, but
I heard what you guys said. You had Washington and Toronto.
yeah. So for 13, do you want to give it to us, Balin? All right, Bryden, what do you got for 13?
at 13, I have Detroit.
Woo!
I know they have a good start going right now. Are they 2-0?
I'm not sure.
They have very, very good young pieces,
True.
but we need to see consistency from them.
Yeah.
They're still so young. We need to see that consistency from them. For me personally, we finished at the bottom of the barrel the last few seasons. So I just need to see that. I need to see that consistency to put them any higher. So I'm putting them at 13. I think the other teams in the East have more consistent pieces right now.
Yeah.
The Detroit Pistons do have a really good young core. So I'm putting them at 13.
Okay. I'll go my 13. I got Chicago. I put Chicago Bulls as my 13 seed.
Wow.
I think they're doing fine right now, but I just think they're gonna implode. I just don't think that team fits together, and I think they're just gonna break that whole team apart. I think Levine, DeRozan, and Vucevic will all be on different teams by the end of the season. Is my prediction. I mean, who has a team meeting like after the first game of the season? Like they lose one game to OKC and they all freak out. Like,
I mean, I can see it. I'll come back to them later, but I see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I mean they could just be like the 10 seed like they were last year, but I feel like Chicago, if they're smart, they should break them up because I feel like they have no chance at winning with that roster.
I'm
They
with
have
you. I think
no shooting.
they're either like as far as they can go, mid as fuck. As
Yeah.
far as they can go, where you put them, like they're not going to be.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I'm with you.
Yep. Balin, are you here? Oh crap! All right, we'll come back to Balin's 13 seed. Who do you got for 12?
12, I put Wizards. So
Woo!
not much higher than you guys.
Yeah.
But for me, Wizards, I think have some pieces that could be very good. I mean, Kuzma and Jordan Poole could. I mean, they could carry the load offensively. That's it. Defense, they have no defense.
There's
There is
garbage.
no defense on that team.
Yeah.
So I think they can put together some very good offensive games. I think they could do better than Detroit, the Raptors, the Hornets, but that's as far as they go. Their defense is so poor that they can't do much better than that. So I'm pretty much putting them. I put them at the highest they could go.
Yeah, I see that. That is true. Balin, we missed your 13 seed, but welcome back. Okay, wait, I can't hear you right now, actually. Can you hear him, Brian?
I'm with Brian. I chose Detroit also.
Woo! Jeez!
I do think I want them to be good because I like young teams to be good. I think what's his face? They're big. Isaiah
Stewart? Is that his name?
Isaiah Stewart. I kind of like him. I think he's kind of a fun player. I just don't think they really have an alpha, and I'm not a big Cade Cunningham guy.
Yeah.
I just need to see more. Like he's fine, I guess. I don't know. They want him to be this creator, point guard type guy, and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think they're there yet. I think they're too young, and it's really hard. And basically all of your entire team, other than Bojan, are super young players to take that next step. This is the period where it's win games that you're not supposed to win, but you're not going to be a 40-win team yet.
Yeah.
Because you still have to have those growing pains. Especially Cade didn't even play last year.
True.
He's going to have huge growing pains unless I don't know if he's ready to take that next step yet. I mean, I haven't watched them yet this season. I wasn't super impressed with Cade. I think he takes a lot of mid-range jump shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. And Bojan is interesting as
He's
the
hurt,
veteran
too.
guy. He's a good scorer, but he's not a distributor type guy. So I don't really see them making even the play-in at their best. They could prove me wrong, but I think their ceiling's 11.
Okay.
But I got them at 13. You just want me to roll into my 12?
Yeah, you could roll into your 12.
Roll into my 12. I don't think this is going to be super controversial, but I know there's a lot of fans of this team that would not be happy when this happens. I got the Atlanta Hawks at 12.
Woo! Sorry that was too loud. Dang, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't. There's so much talk about them. Well, they lost to Charlotte opening night. Did not do me any good. But I think
they
the
won
big
tonight,
thing for me
though.
was the constant talk for 2 straight years of we're gonna get rid of Trae Young. It's got to be dragging on Trae and dragging on everyone involved.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Hey, what about
If
the
you
fact that
don't-
they beat your 2 seed tonight? Just kidding.
they beat Minnesota tonight?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody has off days, you feel me? But yeah, I think DeJounte is not a star player to me. I think he is a good scorer. That's about where I put him. I don't think Capella is anything more than a lob guy. They got rid of John Collins, so kind of interesting. Sadiq Bey is again, he's a fringe player to me, and then DeAndre Hunter is what he is at this point. He hasn't proven to be able to take the next step of where he was drafted yet, and so
Hmm.
I'm kind of just. I think it just blows up. Like, and I don't know if anyone's going to give up anything for Trey because they're going to probably ask for like 4 first-round picks. No one's giving up 4 first-round picks for
Oh
Trey
my
Young.
gosh,
So
bro. Yeah, he's good.
that's my Atlanta Hawks pick. Steven, who you got at 12?
Who I got at 12 is Toronto.
Mm.
Man, I miss Dennis Schroeder. I will say that. I miss that fool for my team. I loved him, but yeah, I just don't think they have enough. They have a bunch of like random like dudes that should be on the Blazers right now and throwing up bricks, like Gary Trent Jr. Um, freaking Pascal Siakam's always out of control. Like their whole team is just a bunch of dudes that are out of control and that can get to the free throw line in lucky ways. Um, and some like decent talent because I feel like what's the guy's name? Masai Ujiri. I feel like he's good with finding talent. So I feel like they're a young, talented team, but I feel like if anything, they're just gonna get rid of like Pascal and maybe OG this year.
Right.
I could see that, but yeah, even if they don't, I see him at 12. So, but Bryden, do you want to give us your number 11?
Look at that sad graph with Charlotte just by themselves.
I know.
Okay.
He said he's coming. He's coming. I'll go with my 11 though. I put the Indiana Pacers at 11. Don't hate me, guys.
Wow. Wow.
I've been watching them. They just, I mean, I want to. I love Tyrese. I love their young core. I feel like Benedict is like super fun to watch. Bruce Brown keeps knocking down a bunch of threes every game. They have a bunch of shooters surrounding Tyrese, and I'm pretty sure he might be averaging or leading the league in assists, even though it's like 3 games in. But he's averaging 12 right now, and I don't know. I just watching them, like sometimes when they can't get offense, like it's hard to watch. They just spread the ball around, and nobody's going in. They just only shoot threes. I feel like it's just not gonna fully mesh together. I like Obi Toppin on their team. I think he was a good pickup. Definitely fits their team well. But I just don't see them cracking the top 10. I see them being the exact same team as last year, and I feel like they need one more piece to maybe like really, or one more piece or one more year to like take them up to the promised land, to like even maybe the 7 or 6 seed.
Okay.
What do you got?
I think you had this team either at 13 or 12. I got Chicago.
Ooh,
I
yep.
do think it'll be kind of similar to last year. Well, at the beginning, they'll at least win a few games. Like, a few games look pretty good. But I do think, I don't know if they'll even be able to blow it up because I don't know who's trading for any of those contracts.
Yeah.
I think people would pay a little bit for Levine. I don't know about Vooch or DeRozan. Maybe Vooch if a big gets hurt somewhere. DeRozan, I mean Philly probably because they just throw anything at anything. Like what? Like how is Kelly Oubre a starter on the 76ers?
He's good right now, bro.
I know
It's
kind of
weird.
annoying. Did he have like 27 with 0 assists, like a classic Kelly Oubre game? And
That opening night, he only missed like 2
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah, there's not much more than what you've said. It was crazy that they had a team meeting. Like that's the most absurd thing. Like
I know.
I've seen.
And like, did you see that they didn't even let the coach in?
Yeah.
Like the coach was like, "Should I come in?" Billy Donovan. Oh my gosh. I feel like he should be a coach. He shouldn't be a coach in the NBA.
I thought he should have been fired like 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
whatever.
They have the worst coaching decisions, bro. There at the Bulls.
Portland was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think their young guys have done enough to step up, and that might be a culture thing, like surrounding Levine and DeRozan. But Kobe White and Patrick Williams. I was a big Patrick Williams guy coming out. They just haven't done it for me yet, and I
Yeah.
think that's holding them back, along with not having Lonzo. I mean, Lonzo was
Yeah.
kind of the glue that held it together.
He was.
Caruso a little bit, but it was Lonzo and Caruso together, kind of like
I would trade for Caruso right now, day one.
100%.
Yeah, I traded
100%.
Reeves for him.
I'd trade Reeves and your guy's point guard. What's his name?
D'Lo?
LeBron.
Oh,
No, LeBron. Yeah.
what's up, Brian?
Yeah. No. I had Chicago at 11, Brian. Steven had. Who'd you have? You had.
I had Indiana at the
Indiana.
11,
Yeah.
and then Balin had Chicago at 11. So, what do you got at 11, Bryden? If we can hear you, I think we can.
Hello?
Yes,
Yo.
let's go.
Woo! Technology!
Woo! Hype.
Did I tell you guys my 12?
Yeah, your 12 was the Wizards, right? Balin had the Hawks. I had Toronto. You had the Wizards. I think we need your 11.
Okay. Hold on, let me check.
Your 11.
What do you think? Who's lower, Detroit or
My 11?
Yeah.
My 11 was Brooklyn.
Woo! Goodness. That's a
goodness?
that's a crazy pick. Okay, I like it though. I like it.
For me, what I noted is they have to figure out rotations that work. So I think
Yes.
they have a good team. They have a good team that could be very solid on offense and defense, and they have good coaching. But I think they have to figure out how to put all of that together. I think Mikal Bridges can do a lot of that offensive load and even defensively. Spencer Dinwiddie has been great. And they also have a lot of other pieces, but they need to put the rotations together to put it all together. So I have them at 11. I think for me, where I'm putting them is kind of their lowest, but they can exceed that.
Yeah, I could see that being their floor, their slowest. So we've got a lot of them so far. Should we wait? I think we should wait to see what to put in for 12
I think we should
or for
throw,
14.
I think we should throw Detroit and
I haven't done
Washington.
Detroit yet. I haven't done Detroit.
oh, you have okay. Throw Washington at 14.
Okay, Washington. All right, Washington.
Okay. I'll
You want to start
go ahead and do my 10 seed.
the play-in seed?
Play-in seed. I'm just gonna do it because it goes right along from what Brian said with the Brooklyn Nets.
Woo! Okay.
I think I'm really with Brian on what he said, like with the rotations and stuff, but also just like personnel knowing their role. Because I think Mikal Bridges is by far at least he should be the alpha on that team because he's the best player in my opinion by quite a bit. Dinwiddie plays point guard position well. I think Cam Thomas needs to get out the way. I think he is causing problems by taking horrendous shots, just awful shots, especially down the stretch.
I agree with that.
I don't agree with the subbing Ben Simmons out. Like subbing him out for offense down the stretch. No, just throw him at the dunker spot. Just get him out the way. Like if you're gonna sub him out, then why are you not subbing Dorian Finney-Smith out too? Like I think you're just like it's too
Because
much.
Doe's the GOAT.
Too much tinkering. Like and instead of just like dribbling and dribbling and dribbling, run an offense.
Yeah.
Or like run a pick and roll or something. Like maybe give some post touches to the lefty. What's his name? Claxton. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think Brian's right. I think they could be like the 6. Like that was my initial thought. Is like before the season, like Brooklyn, they're probably like the 6 or 7, maybe the 8, maybe jump up to the 5. But no, I just
That's hot.
I don't see it right now. And they
Yeah.
don't have like that clutch gene. They haven't had it since they traded away Spider-Man Kevin Durant. But
Spider-Man. Okay.
yeah. Anyways,
All
one
right.
of y'all go ahead.
What do
Take
you
your
got,
10 seed.
Bryden? What do you got for your 10?
So for my 10, I know one of you definitely put them lower. I don't know if both of you did. You might have. I put the Bulls.
Okay, yeah.
And my notes were they have solid offense, but their defense is lacking. They have a couple of great defensive players like Caruso. DeRozan can play great defense, but they do not have enough firepower, in my opinion.
Yep.
And they are definitely hurting without Lonzo. Ever since Lonzo went out, they've just kind of been a bleeding vessel, in my opinion.
100%.
So without Lonzo, I think they will struggle continuously, but I still think they have pieces that they can. If they kind of like Brooklyn, if they can kind of figure out those rotations with Levine and DeRozan and Vucevic, I think they can do well. But it's just kind of figuring out how to play them together, and this is kind of. I mean, they've been playing together now, for 2-3 years, so I think they can, but if they don't, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, they haven't figured it out, man. They should be able to figure it out at some point, you'd think.
I know.
We'll see.
I think just Lonzo really put a big hitch in kind of what their plans were.
True that. All right, my 10 seed, I put Detroit. I like their young core. I was watching them the other day. They have really bad spacing issues sometimes. Like if they don't have Joe Harris on the floor, or if they don't have Boyan's actually out injured right now, so they don't have him. And it's some rough lineups, but I like the way that they're playing. Like they like seem to be playing really, really good defense. And Cade kind of sucks, but they got some other pieces. You guys said they didn't have an alpha. Alec Burks is an alpha. Let's be real, guys. He's freaking great. Like whenever I watch them play, I'm like, dang, the Knicks are missing Alec Burks. The one, like that's the Knicks missing piece right there. That's who they need. But I don't know.
I do. I'm gonna go out and say I feel like Alec Burks has been underrated his whole career. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I was watching them the other night, and I was like, bro is actually carrying them right now. And people are going to be like, Cade popped off. But Alec Burks was the one, like, actually setting everyone up. And I was like, okay. I was like, this is the guy they need. So, I don't know. I like their team. Marvin Bagley's playing pretty good. James Wiseman rides their bench. Maybe one day he'll get going. But that's my 10 seed.
I was hoping you were going to take a bigger swing, like put him at like 8, but
I wanted to, bro, but I couldn't.
All right, who we got lower, Chicago or Detroit?
So, I put Chicago at 13. Balin put Chicago at 11. Bryden at 10. And then for Detroit, I put Detroit at 10. Detroit's also at 13, and Detroit. You guys both put them at 13.
Okay.
So is Detroit lower?
At 13.
Yeah.
Chicago at 12.
Yeah. Okay.
Chicago at 12. Damn. I don't know. I kind of like our rankings so far, though, for both of them.
Yeah. We'll get it. And then, Balin, do you want to start it off with 9?
Okay, yeah, 9. Let me see here. I have Toronto. I know Bryden already put them low, like 12 or something.
Okay, yeah, same here. I think, yeah. I put them 14.
Yeah.
Me too.
Holy
or actually,
smokes.
yeah, you put them 14. I think I put them 12. Sorry. Oops.
Dang. Okay. You put Toronto at 14?
I did.
Wow. I remember what you're talking about them, but I do see what you're saying with like the whole no direction and all that stuff, but I'm a believer that Scotty Barnes can take the next step. I do think that like he could be, I'm not saying like a superstar or anything, but like good enough to carry, and they have enough of guys that have been there that have won, not like big things, but they've been around and played winning basketball. I think Siakam's gone this season, and I think that might be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
OG, I think, is a good enough player. as just like a supporting cast guy. I think I kind of like Gary Trent. I've always kind of liked Gary Trent. Uh, and then Pirtle, like, okay, their bench seems all right.
What
It
about
is strange.
Grady Dick? The way he strokes it.
Yes, yeah. Weird way to say that. Uh, but definitely, I know I see what you guys were saying with them falling hard, but I think they just literally just stay the same path, and like nothing changes. And who's their coach now? Who's their head coach?
The guy who was an assistant coach in Memphis last year. He has a really weird name.
Okay. But yeah, they're that team that like they're in the same boat as Chicago. It's like you're good enough to beat teams, but that doesn't help you because now you're just gonna be middling forever.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
and even though I said that like I didn't think Chicago would blow it up, I would if I was a winning team, I'd rather trade for Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic over Pascal Siakam or OG.
Yeah.
OG, I guess contract probably isn't too big, but like, and even if Scotty Barnes struggles, that like hurts his value too. But we'll see. I believe in Scotty. Go Scotty.
Scotty's hairline's receding quick, bro. Better watch out.
Hey, it happens.
Bryden, what do you got for 9?
I put Atlanta.
Oof.
I think they have great players, but they are very scattered. I think Balin said it earlier. With Trae Young getting, he's been on the trade block. I feel like for the last 5 years. I feel like, and that's just not a healthy. It's toxic. I think Atlanta is very toxic right now. So, with that being said, I think if they can figure that out, I think they can play very well. We've seen it. Trae Young can. And pop off. I mean, he has carried that team in playoffs before. He has won series for them, with the help of others, obviously. But
yeah, Ben Simmons.
I think it's just a very Ben Simmons. Capella's a very underrated player. I do feel like.
Same.
I do think it's a toxic. It's a toxic environment over there. So I have them at 9. I personally think that's kind of the highest they can go. I do think they might fall lower, but we'll see. I think it's just very toxic in that whole team organization. So.
All right, and you guys both said your 9 seed, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the Orlando Magic at 9.
Get out of here.
And they're beating my Lakers right now, bro. I'm messing.
Yeah.
Freaking Joe Ingles is locking down LeBron, guys. It's embarrassing out here. So, but yeah, I really like Paulo, Franz Wagner. They got Mo Wagner. They got all the Wagners over there. Or Wagner. I don't know how to say it, bro. They got so many freaking up and coming like scoring, not like shooting guards. I guess they're like point guards that are really small that I feel like that can take it to the hole. And I feel like they're a young up and coming team, but they're not ready yet. I think 9 they'll be in the plan. They might make it into the plan because they might be better than some of the teams I have ahead by the end of the year. But I feel like I don't know. I don't see them going up that high right away. I know y'all got them at 4, but I got them at 9. That's my stuff. What do you guys got for
I think we can throw Toronto on there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So Toronto was at 14, at 12, and at 9. So
yeah,
throw them at 11.
Give them the 11. Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll go next.
All right, for the 8 seed, right? Yeah.
Nope. Should I wait for Bay or should I just go?
He's back, yeah.
All right. So I have. Did you say the Magic?
I did at 9. but it's 10. It's
nine.
8 now. Yeah.
8 now. Okay, so I have the Magic at 8.
Whew. All right, let's go.
My note is great young team. So I think the Magic are very similar to what OKC was last season. I think they have a really great young team that can develop into a great team. But like you said, Steven, I think they are about a season or two away from cracking top 6.
I agree.
They have, Cole Anthony's coming off the bench. I think he's a really good point guard. Markelle Fultz, if he stays healthy, he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And Pialo, dude, that guy, he's legit.
Yeah.
If he keeps moving upward, he's gonna be so good. And who's their center? Their center is really good. Yeah, he's good too. Like he still has time to develop too. So
yeah,
I think
Chicago should have kept him.
they should have. I agree. So yeah, I have them at 8. I think they can crack into the play-in tournament, kind of like OKC did last season. But I think they're a couple years out from really seeing their full potential.
Also, I forgot to mention too with the Magic, they had like 2 top 10 picks this year with Anthony Black and I think Juwan Howard's son was top 10.
Yeah, Howard.
So yeah, I haven't really watched them play, but if they do anything, like definitely gonna crack the play-in easily.
And they have Gary Harris. Shout out to the Nuggets.
Shout out Gary Harris, always
a good friend of y'all's.
Always good.
All right, Balin, what do you got for 8?
8? You can't. Steven might drive to my house and punch me on this one for real.
What?
What
are you talking about? Who could it be that I would do this?
The New York Knicks.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
They have been looking rough.
Oh. Yeah, no, I do think actually I haven't watched them since the Boston game, to be honest. But and I think I'm a big Brunson guy. But if this when your other 2 guys that take a lot of shots are not efficient shooters, your defense can only hold you for so long, especially in this league where the offenses are so friggin' good.
Yeah.
That everyone scores a lot of points. But I think Julius and RJ need to figure it out and just be more consistent with their shot taking and more consistent with their shot making, because especially Julius takes a lot of bad shots when he doesn't need to. He could get to the basket.
Yep.
Or he could try to develop some playmaking skills. So I do think their offense is really what's going to hold them back. They do have some. They still have that carryover of winning culture and being good defensive team. So I don't think they're I'm not afraid of them bumping out of the top 10, but I do think they're more of a play-in tournament team to me. I'm not a big Dante DiVincenzo guy. I don't think that was made them better in any stretch of the imagination. And I think Mitchell Robinson really needs to up his offensive ability. I think he's a tremendous defensive player. He could win Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career, but he needs to step up offensively if they want to be what their potential could be. If they all are, well, that's a 3 seed maybe a 2 seed. But I just, from what carried over from the playoffs last year, it has me concerned. I get Julius was hurt, but just not being able to consistently score the basketball outside of Jalen Brunson, and I don't think you can count on him to carry you all the way up to a top 4 seed again.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay, I got the Hawks at 8. I have a little bit more faith in the Hawks than you guys. I'm crazy. I just like their roster, man. I like I feel like Quinn Snyder fits with those players. I feel like it might be taking them a little bit to figure it out, but I feel like at some point this season, I feel like they're due for a 10-game winning streak. I might be really crazy for saying that, but I like
that take. I like that take.
I like their young roster. I feel like they always Gosh, who's the? They have some former NBA player's son on their team. I don't remember. But I like their team, man. I like other Bogdanovich. He's on their squad, and he's always killing it off the bench. Sadiq Bey, I feel like he's gonna like have an impact. Trae Young's gonna actually like be more efficient throughout the year. I think. I mean, tonight I think they came back from like 25 down to beat the T-Wolves. I could see them just being a highly explosive team and might learn how to defend later in the year. I like Clint Capella too. I think he's really good on the like defensive end, and he's always a lob threat. And I feel like they have multiple dudes that are lob threats and multiple guys that could shoot. They have another center who they just re-signed. Crazy name, but I like the roster. I think they're gonna be 8 seed, but I think they could be 6 seed is their ceiling. I think, or maybe even higher. But that's what it's my 8 seed. So
cool. You want to throw them on the board?
Yeah. So let's see. They were at 12. And 12, 9, and 8. So 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What the heck are they, bro? Oh. Okay. All right. Who wants to give us their 7 seed?
I got Indiana Pacers. I think.
All right.
Steven had him like at 10. I'm pretty sure.
I had him at 11.
11. Ooh, yeah. I think I do like your breakdown. I thought your breakdown was pretty good. Reasons that I think they'll be in the play-in tournament. Similar to what you said, they have a lot of good shooters and good pieces. Like, but why I think they'll be higher than 11, like they're closer to 7 than 11 for me is because they have that point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So even if things start to like not fluctuate well during the season, I think Tyrese is good enough to just figure it out for himself. And you have a second guy, Bruce Brown, who can also be a catalyst, a guy that gets out in transition, pushes the ball, finds open guys, is super explosive attacking the rim, and can shoot. I've always liked Miles Turner a lot. I think he's kind of underrated player just because he plays in Indiana. Like, I'd take him over a lot of centers that have played more playoff games that get a lot of credit. I mean, he's a veteran, too, at this point. Rim protector. If you play with him in 2K, you'll average 12 blocks a game with him, which is crazy.
I don't use them.
Yeah, and you said Ben Mathurin. Hopefully he can take the next step. He's a little bit too aggressive at times, looking for his own shot. But he's still a good player. I think that's...
They got Buddy, too.
Like, yeah, they're the 11 seed. And because I do think they could be like the 10, but they also, like, if they figure it out, and like Buddy Hield shooting 50% from 3 and Tyrese is being Tyrese, they could be like the 3 seed. But we'll see.
I can see that. Yeah, I got Brooklyn as my 7 seed. I know you guys had them at, I don't know, the 10 seed, possibly. I had
him at 10. Brian had him at 11.
Okay, yeah. I put them at the 7 seed. I like what they're doing. I feel like they're competing at a high level. I like how Ben Simmons is playing right now. Like, I'm impressed. I wouldn't have them at 7 if it wasn't for Ben Simmons. Like, I feel like he's setting everyone up well, and I feel like he's gradually gonna get like more playing time as they realize that they suck without him throughout the season. I do agree. I agree with you guys about the Cam Thomas stuff. I feel like when he's on the court, he's never looking to actually pass it to anybody. Like, he's always looking to score, and even when a dude is wide open, because he's a good scorer, he's attracting like almost like 2 people sometimes when he's on fire, and he still can't give up the ball to like a wide open shooter. So I feel like if they can get that, like what you guys said, the rotations and stuff under control, I like their pieces. Royce O'Neal is always a pretty mid player, but he can always act up and be freaking nailing threes. Like he has that in him, but he also has it in him to like just go cold for the whole season. So I feel like they're definitely this might be their ceiling is what I have them at, like the highest at what they could be. But I don't know. I like their team. I like Cam Johnson a lot, and I think he's gonna have to step up a lot if they're gonna be the 7. Then I think they could do it. So that's who I got at 7. Bryden, who do you got at 7?
I'm the same as Balin. I have the Pacers. I think to me, I see them being like 9 through 7. I think they're going to be a play-in team. They have really good pieces that if they all play together well, if some players step up more than others, if some figure out their roles more than others, they'll be very, very, very well off.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they don't, then they could fall to like 9, 10. But I think either way, they'll be in the play-in. I'm looking at it right now. They have 7 players averaging double digits, which could be both a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, the Nuggets have 5 players averaging double digits. I think that's because the Nuggets kind of understand their role a little bit better, whereas the Pacers are still kind of trying to figure that out.
Who are the 5 players on the Nuggets? Is Reggie Jackson one of them, or is it they're just starters?
Reggie Jackson's averaging 9.7.
Oh, okay. It's just the starters then?
Yeah, I think it's just the starters are averaging double digits. But the Pacers have 7 players averaging double digits, so I think if the Pacers can kind of narrow down kind of what their identity is, I think they could be a higher end play-in team, but I think at the end of the day they're going to be a play-in team.
Yeah. Should we wait to put the Pacers into a seed? I think we might need more information.
Well, we would have
because I have them at 11. Oh wait, Brooklyn? Yeah.
It's Brooklyn and Indiana right now, right?
Yeah. So Brooklyn's at 11, 10, and 7.
Yeah.
Is that 9?
You throw Brooklyn at 9 and Indiana at 8.
Okay. Brooklyn at 9. Indiana at 8.
Cool.
Oh my God, Balin hasn't done Orlando yet. Okay. Do you want to start with your 6th seed, Balin?
Sure.
Orlando. No.
I think this is a team that is shown the ability to be super mid, and then shown the ability to be the best team in the East. And I think 6th seed is kind of where their regular season will end up, and that's the Miami Heat. Yeah. Just like, I don't think they have enough offensive firepower to be the 1 seed again, like they were 2 years ago. But they definitely just have that winning gene in them. Like, and Jimmy is it, like in terms of leadership and winning ability. They just need another scorer because Tyler Hero is just like not that scorer, and neither is Bam, and neither is Jimmy. But yeah, like, I mean, it's pretty well documented. We've all watched them play. I think Caleb Martin maybe could take another step forward. But they're tough. They're well coached. They play really, really good defense. And they know how to win. And they were the 8 seed last year. Like they almost didn't make the playoffs. So I don't think 6 is too low because I think they just don't have enough scoring to like win that 55 plus games, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. See that. Bryden, do you want to give us your 6th seed out of the play-in?
I have the Knicks. And it was a tough one. I mean, there's so many teams I feel like that could go here. I only have the Knicks just because of their continuity. They've all been playing together for a while. They have veterans kind of all around. RJ Barrett seems like he's taking a step forward. Brunson's always good. Julius Randle, if he can stay consistent, I think that team's going to be very good. Quickly's even I mean, he's
Ooh,
taking
yeah,
step forward
he's
too.
always good.
So I think Balin said it. DiVincenzo, I'm not fully sold on him. I think he's a good shooter, but I don't think he's gonna help him too much. And then Hartenstein, I mean, is he their starting center or
Back
is he
up.
their backup?
Robinson.
Okay. So I mean, and then Hart. God damn it.
Oh, he's good.
Hey, he was one of the top 15 players in the United States. So.
Golly. So I mean, I think to me, I think it's just their continuity is where is why I'm putting them at 6. I think if everything goes how it should, in my opinion, I think they should be around 6 seed. I think they could be 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe. I think they'll be right around there because just based on their continuity, based on even their playoff experience, they've gone to the playoffs the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they just maintain that and kind of make a jump offensively, I think is where they really need a jump. Then I think they'll do very well and make 6 seed.
I got them at the 6 as well. I agree with you. Wait, what were you saying?
I just want to about Josh Hart. I don't know if I'll ever be able to think of another play with him other than in the Miami series last year. It's clutch time of a game. And he got a catch and shoot wide open and just missed it 3 feet.
I remember that, dude. That's why I cracked up when I said it. That's exactly what I think about too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you with the Knicks at the 6 seed. I feel like I think that if they're gonna be the 6 seed, I think the one player that can really has to take a leap, which I think he could do, but also has been struggling to start the year, is Quentin Grimes. I think that's the one dude that can really help Jalen Brunson, and really put more points up. Because I like what Barrett does. I like the way Barrett plays. I think he's actually, he tries to do the right thing. And then there's Randall that tries to freaking ruin their team. And, I love Randall, just because he got drafted by the Lakers. But, man, he is so, his shot, he needs to stop shooting the ball. And that's how, the Knicks could be so much better. But, yeah, I like their continuity. I like Emmanuel Quickley. I feel like he's 6th man of the year candidate once again. He didn't win last year, I don't think. But I think he might be able to win this year because the Knicks need that offense. I think DiVincenzo's going to help out a lot, but I don't think he's going to be that much. I think he just came to because he's buddy with Brunson, and it was either New Jersey or New York. So for him, with Nova kids, but yeah, that's my 6 seed. So
nice. Here, just roll into your 5 seed.
Okay. My 5 seed. I got Miami at my 5 seed. I got Miami.
Nice.
I thought about putting them lower. I thought about putting them once again at 8 or 9, but I just thought they'd come into this year more focused. And I know they lost Gabe Vincent. I know they lost Max Strus. The Heat will find ways to replace them, I think. I honestly just... The Heat just find dudes, right? They have Highsmith, is that his name? Who, had some valuable minutes last year in the finals. He's back and he's going to have more minutes. Jaime Jaquez is actually playing pretty well. He had, a super good game the other night where, I'm pretty sure he maybe missed one shot and was, 4 for 4 for 3. And then the other night against the T-Wolves, they started Jovic. So, because Jimmy Butler...
Who won that game? What was the score of that game?
T-Wolves won. Jimmy Butler didn't play because he hasn't played the last 4 years against Minnesota because he hates them. So he just doesn't want to play. But yeah, I think Miami's going to be a lot better. They're going to take the regular season seriously. And I think... Gosh, I think that they're a title contender once again, even though they're not going to be talked about as much, obviously. So, what do you guys got? What do you got, Balin?
I finally got that team that we've been talking about, the Orlando
Woo!
Magic.
Jeez! Okay.
And man,
Okay.
I just like it. It fits right. It's like a young team that fits right. Bolts unselfish. Paolo unselfish. Franz Wagner just knows how to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Mo Wagner super annoying. I could not stand that dude at Michigan.
His face is annoying too.
but-
Dang.
And like we said, yeah, like stop yelling. Like you average 6 points a game. Stop yelling. Wendell Carter, like we said, is really good. Like stretch 4-5 type guy. I think they play with great pace. I think Fultz controls the pace really well, and if he's not in, Paolo controls the pace really well. I'm not a huge what's Anthony's son, Cole Anthony guy,
yeah.
but I do think that he is a good offensive engine. Like he's kind of like that Jamal Crawford, Eric Gordon type like six man that like
Malik
is
Monk.
annoying to watch, but he does what he needs to do for the team.
Annoying to watch. Okay. Jamal Crawford annoying to watch.
Like pass, dude. Just
Oh.
like one time in your entire career pass. And he killed the Nuggets. He always killed the Nuggets. But I just think they just fit. Like they know how to play together. It's like that when Denver was not even like when they were losing in the playoffs, like with like the year that they lost in 7 games to Portland. Like it kind of feels like that. Like they don't have some like maybe Orlando fans think Franz is gonna take it to the next step, but it's just like they feel like they're together. Like plug in. Someone goes down, you just plug in Wancho for Denver, and like he's suddenly a good player. Like they just have that feel to them of continuity, mesh. They have fun. They're young. They have fun, and they want to play together. And I think they can ride that wave to the 5 seed. I think they'll play hard enough in the regular season that they can get more wins than the Miami Heat. They
I can see
score
that.
more points than the New York Knicks. And I have them at the 5. I don't know that they're not like for me. They're not at a place that they could maybe win a playoff series because they don't have that shot maker yet. Unless Paolo
Cole
really
Anthony,
takes
bro.
the step this
Cole
year.
Anthony.
Cole Anthony. But also in the East, like in the West, like if they walked into a 5 seed in the West, like they're getting swept. In the East, different story.
Yeah.
So, but I really do like this team. I think they're probably my favorite team to watch in the East.
Beating my Lakers right now
Yeah.
at the half.
It's always fun to watch the Lakers lose. for sure.
Oh.
I do like watching the Knicks play, actually, but like they're just so like weird.
Did you watch them play against the Pelicans the other night? Where they
I
got
watched them
utterly
sit-
destroyed? They're down by like 20 in the first quarter.
Who you got at 5, Brido?
I have the Cavs.
Woo! Okay. See you.
I have a couple of good friends who are from the Cleveland area, so they might be a little mad at me for putting them that
Man.
low. They probably want to see them a little higher. But to me, I just feel like, I mean, they have Donovan Mitchell, obviously, monster. He's a monster in the regular season. He's a monster in the playoffs. That dude can score.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the greatest defender, but that dude can put points on the board. And Evan Mobley, great defensive player. He can hold his own offensively, but he is a great defensive player. They added Max Strus. Darius Garland, he's kind of had some injury issues the last couple of years, but if he can get healthy, that's going to only help their guard situation. Then we haven't even seen Jared Allen this season. I think that kind of attributes to why Cleveland's 1 and 2. But I think once and if they can get truly healthy, I think they're going to be a very dangerous team. They'll have a mixture of offense and defense that they need. And I think they could be a 5 seed and maybe even potentially higher. If injuries keep screwing them, I think they could even drop lower than the 5 seed. But I have them firmly at 5.
Okay. All right. Balin, do you want to give us your 4?
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like everyone's probably like it's kind of that time to start talking about this team. Philadelphia 76ers.
Boo! Boo! Just kidding. We all have to talk about that.
And I'm surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised none of you guys had them lower already because of the James Harden situation.
Yeah.
And my initial thought would be that they're lower. But why I believe in them is Tyrese Maxey, basically. I think he, like, as annoying as it is, like, because Philly fans, like, ride him like he's literally LeBron James. But, like, he's really, really good. He plays with tremendous pace. He attacks the basket, which is, like, so nice to see from, a little guard. He's not a great setup guy, but he understands, I think, a lot of, like, offensive scheme stuff and plays through it well. And I know I'm not allowed to say this about a 76ers player, but I freaking love DeAnthony Melton. Like, every time I've watched dude play, like, he just, like, plays so hard and he, like, goes after our offensive rebounds and stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like the way he plays. And I do think the 76ers are better with James Harden. No doubt about it. But I think it was going to be the last year anyways, and I don't think they're going to make the finals with James Harden this year. So I think it's better for the franchise this year to just figure out what it is with just Embiid. So, like, I know it's not just Embiid because Tyrese is there, but, like,
yeah,
I think what they should do is they throw the ball to Embiid in the post every single possession and figure out what pieces need to fit around him. And if it's Kelly Oubre, then sick. Like,
hey, he's
good for
balling.
Kelly Oubre.
He's balling right now.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So
Philly, okay.
they lost James Harden, added Kelly Oubre, and no one has had him in the below a 4 seed. So hopefully we're right. I guess.
Hey, James Harden's
and
about to get
the
traded.
Philly brand holding him up. Dude.
James Harden for Joe Ingles.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. Definitely not. Bryden, do you want to give us your 4 seed?
Yeah. I put Miami.
All right.
I have Miami at 4. I have them because of basically all the things that y'all talked about. Continuity. We know what we're going to get with them. They're going to play hard. They are very well coached. Probably one of the best, most well-coached teams in the league. And, I mean, Jimmy Buckets, dude, that dude's mental fortitude is insane. I mean, when he puts it together, like, everyone around him just follows suit. I do feel like they lost a couple of pieces that were important to their team, but I do feel also that their team didn't get much worse than teams that I put behind them, like the Knicks, the Pacers. Yeah. I don't see them doing worse than the Magic, Atlanta. Like, I see them doing better. I don't know who said it. One of you said it. They're going to come in more focused.
Yeah.
They're going to have a chip on their shoulder like they always do. I just don't see them falling lower than... I think their floor is probably... To me, last season, that being an 8 seed was surprising to me. So
I agree 100%.
I think their floor is maybe 6 seed, and I do think their ceiling is probably about a 4 seed.
Can see that. All right. My 4 seed is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh,
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes.
I think I just don't like their coaching staff. I'll be real honest. Like, I have nothing against Adrian Griffin. I don't even really know who he is. Besides, he played in the league. I didn't even know that before he got hired. But, but, and I just watching. I mean, it's too early to really tell because they haven't really played together. But I know they won tonight against Miami. But I just feel like they don't put Lillard Like, they don't run enough stuff with Lillard. They don't know how to use Lillard. Giannis is confused on having, like, a player that he should probably give the ball to more in the clutch. And, like, I don't know. I just feel like it might take more time than we think for them to build chemistry. I know Giannis is super dominant, and he can have a 1 seed last year. And have Lillard next year, and somehow, like, I'm saying they're not the 1 seed, even though their team just got better, probably. But I don't know. I just think it's gonna take a lot of time for them to figure it out. I feel like they might hover around like 500 and below for a little while, kind of figuring out their chemistry. But I feel like it's gonna work out. They're gonna be a high seed, and they're gonna have home court advantage in the first round. But I think it's going to be rough. Chris Middleton sits out a lot of games because he had knee surgery. It's going to be a figuring out process with them being healthy and all that. But I do like the way he coaches defense, the coach. It's kind of scary, the way that they play defense, not going to lie. But that's my 4 seed. All right. Who wants to give us their 3? Balin, you want to give us 3?
Right, go ahead.
I got it. So I put the Sixers. It pains me because, I'm not a huge Sixers fan. But I do have the reigning MVP, which again is very, up for debate. It is.
It is. I know it is.
It is, but it is also hard to debate that, Embiid is one of the best centers in the league. He's arguably one of the best centers in the league. I'm biased in that, but he is a very good player. They need to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They are already missing James Harden. Who knows what the heck is going to happen with that whole situation?
Yep.
But like Balin said, Tyrese Maxey, I think he could be the X factor. If he comes into his own, I think they will be able to hold their own. They do have defensive pieces. They have offensive pieces. So if they can stay healthy, I think they're well coached. They have, like I said, the reigning MVP, and they have other players that can step in and even without James Harden, really play well. Tobias Harris.
Ooh, he's playing well.
Playing well. He's been underrated for the last couple of years because he's kind of been under the radar behind James Harden and Embiid and even Tyrese Maxey. He's a solid role player. So I think they have pieces to be top 3. But I don't think they go much higher than that with the teams above them.
Mm-hmm.
And given their health history, I think they could fall a little bit too. But I'm giving them about 3.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go or want me to go, Balin?
Go ahead.
All right. I got Cleveland at 3. Cleveland is my 3 seed. I think I agree with you guys. It's going to be tough for them to stay healthy. Darius Garland's already out. Hasn't played. Donovan Mitchell was already load managing. I don't know why. And then Jarrett Allen, I don't know. I actually don't even know his injury right now or why he's not playing. But I like the pieces that they picked up. I think Max Strus is going to help him a lot. I think he knocked down like 5 or 6 threes in their first game against Cleveland. And, man, he's one of the most inconsistent, weirdest shooters. You guys saw that in the Nuggets series last year. But Bryden, of course, he saw that with his bet.
Yeah, I saw that.
I like George Niang that they picked up. I think he's going to be a piece around the edges that if they had him and Max Strus last year, I feel like they would have took care of the Knicks, even though like it was the first playoffs for most of those core players, and I feel like they were still young last year. I feel like this year is the year that they're going to be able to win a playoff series and make that jump. And I like Isaac Okoro. He struggled for them last year, but I like him as a player that can really turn into something. And he's going to be able to score this year. I have faith. I feel like I saw some flashes in the Brooklyn game, and I feel like we're going to see him slowly grow throughout the year. And Garland and Mitchell are going to do their thing, and Mobley and Jared Allen are going to be that line of defense in the back, and I feel like they'll be fine on defense, even though they have those two super small guards. So I think they'll be set 3 seed. They're ready.
Yeah, I got Cleveland at 3-2. And I honestly think Biden kind of made, when he was talking about it, he has them below Philly. He kind of made an argument for why I think they'll be above Philly. I do think we know what they are. They're the defensive guys in Mobley and Allen and Okoro. And then they have the attacking guards that can score a lot of points. And I think the Max Strus thing is really a big deal because now you have a better version of Cedi Osman, and you still have Cedi Osman. So
yeah.
Double down on it. And Biden knows I love Cedi Osman.
First team All NBA with Spurs this year.
I think they are better than the teams that I've said because of continuity, for one, and just they have the reason I put them ahead of the Knicks, even though the Knicks just beat them last season, is they have both sides of the ball. They have the defensive side of the ball, but they also have the scorers.
Yep.
With Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Plus now you have that shooter in Max Strus, and obviously, barring all the injuries that Steven touched on, I think, to me, they're a more complete team than Philly right now. They don't have someone as good as Joel Embiid, obviously, but I would take their defense and at this point, it's the same for a lot of these young players. Evan Mobley, now it's time to figure out what he actually is. Does he ever have to average 20 points a game this year? No, but he has to actually start knocking down mid-range jumpers to start spreading the floor a little bit. And I think, just if you look roster talent-wise, they're the third best team in the East to me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I put them at 3.
Okay. Sounds good. Should we add any teams to our list? Do you think we have enough? We should.
Well, I think Cleveland's definitely at 4 because the top 3 is between Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly.
Because they're at 5 and then they're at 3 twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cleveland at 4? Oh, crap.
Yeah. Oh, that's 5, Rich.
Oh, crap.
So then what is it? It's Orlando, New York, and Miami.
Yeah, so you put Orlando at 5. Orlando's also at 8. And they're also at 9.
So that's 22. I think Miami's definitely the 5 seed.
Okay. Miami's at 5.
So then where was New York?
New York, they're at 8. They're at 6 twice. 8 once, 6 twice.
Okay. Yeah, so New York above Orlando.
Okay. New York, and then Orlando at 7.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Okay.
a nice little bracket we got.
Yeah, we just got these final 3 teams. Okay. All right. I'll start with 2 seed. All right.
Uh-oh.
I got Boston. I got the Boston Celtics at 2.
You're telling me you put the Philadelphia James Harden at 1.
I'll explain why. I'll explain why when we get there. But I put Boston at 2. I'm guessing you guys. Oh wait, you guys have Milwaukee still, so I don't know. But yeah, I like Boston's roster, but I don't think they have enough depth. Is basically my reasoning. I think I like the addition of Drew Holiday and Porzingis, but Peyton Pritchard can't carry the load off the bench, bro. He can't be the GOAT for too long. But Sam Hauser's good too. But I mean, I feel like that'll just be their one weakness. Really, is the depth, and Joe Mazzulla, I guess. But that's all I really have to say for them. What do you got, Bryden, for 2?
I put the Milwaukee Bucks. Are Our offensive lineup is insane. It will be tough with Chris Middleton missing time. That will be hard. Their bench isn't amazing either. I do like Jay Crowder. I've always been a fan of Jay Crowder. I think he's a plug and play player. He can play offense and defense. I'm not a fan of Cameron Payne. I don't know why.
I agree.
Pat Connaughton, I do like him. So they have pieces. I think their offense, their starting lineup is really, really good. Are they going to have to figure out what they need to do well is their bench. How to maybe keep a player or two in from the starting lineup with their bench, kind of like how the Nuggets do. However they kind of go about that, but I do think with the addition of Lillard, obviously he had a very struggle night their last game. But I do think that they will figure it out. It's good. There's going to be growing pains. It's going to take a second for them to figure it out, but I do think they have a good system. Antetokounmpo is very willing to figure it out. He wanted another star player. He was talking about all offseason. He's like, if the Bucks aren't serious, I'm leaving.
He was threatening.
So, exactly. So they got Lillard. I know Antetokounmpo is going to be willing to work with him. I'm a big fan of Brook Lopez. They got Malik Beasley. He used to play for the Nuggets.
He used to play for the Lakers too. Amen.
There you go. He's a good shooter. So I think they'll be the 2 seed at their max. I don't see them being the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Portis too. Hallelujah.
Bobby Portis, yeah. I do like Bobby Portis. He used to be on the bench. He worked his way up. So, like Bobby Portis.
Yeah. What do you got, Balin?
I think we'd call him Robert at this point. Robert Portis.
Yeah.
Robert.
I'm down for that.
Sure, he looks like a Robert.
I got Milwaukee at 2 as well. I just think, I know I've been singing the praises all offseason about how nobody's going to be able to cover Damian and Giannis at the same time. I think they proved that otherwise. They can cover themselves. That's the only people that can cover them. You guys touched on it, growing pains. I do think, interesting thing I thought about Dame is like, I'm not throwing shade at any one of my favorite players ever that's now a head coach.
Do it, bro.
But has Dame been coached since Terry Stotts left?
And Terry Stotts left Milwaukee.
Terry Stotts at Portland.
Yeah. Well, he was like an assistant coach.
Terry Stotts left, then it just seemed like Dame just shot every possession from 40 feet. It literally felt like there was no offense after that. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're trying to diss Chauncey Billups. I see you.
I know. I never said that. Chauncey, I didn't mean anything by it. But so that's just like a thought of mine, and then trying to go into now like a system, and a new coach that's trying to figure out what he actually wants to do. I think Adrian Griffin will do fine. I mean, I have no idea, but like, you have those personnel, you should be able to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I think Middleton helps. He'll be able to take the load off of those 2 guys some of the time. Their personnel is weird for me. I don't think it flow. It's not as like, it might be better overall than Boston's, but I don't think it's like as connected.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's something about playing with Giannis. Like, I always like feel like Connaughton, like you said, he's good. He's like athletic, good defender who can shoot well, and then you watch him and you're like, dude, this guy had 5 points and played 35 minutes, and or like things like that. Like, and it's like Lopez, like the largest man in the NBA, just shoots threes all day. I don't know. It's just a weird system out there, and it's. I'm surprised they went on that run and won a championship. Yeah, because they're like built to lose in the playoffs, and so we'll see. But yeah, they're good enough to win 60 games again because they have Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I got them at 2. I think the team above them is better.
Yeah, I agree. I think if
Like,
they had Coach
just-
Bud, I would have more faith, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Brian and I will go first, so you can end on your champagne showering of that city. I got the Boston Celtics.
I don't
at
like
one.
that city at all.
I think Boston, when I sat down and did this, is far and away the best team in the East. I know that your bench point is very, very well taken. I do agree. They should figure out a way, like Brian was saying with the Bucks, to have someone play with the bench, whether it's Porzingis or Derek White or somebody like that.
They'll have Horford out
I
there.
think adding Porzingis, you just now have a team at 1 through 5. Because Horford comes off the bench, right?
Yeah, he does.
That they're starting 5, 1 through 5. Brown, Tatum, Porzingis,
Drew.
what's his name? Derek White and Drew Holiday. That is the only starting 5 in the NBA to me that can compare to the defending champions in terms of 1 through 5. More talented, probably, name basis than the defending champs, but the defending champs just is a well-oiled machine. I think, and when we did our most likely to podcast, I picked Porzingis as most likely newcomer to impact a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
I think so far what I've seen from him in Boston, he looks like that player. Just his length on defense, his ability to shoot and post up. Plus, it allows Horford to play off the bench, who obviously he's just a leader. Didn't what's his name go off tonight? Only right hand man, Jaylen Brown. The most dissed, really good
messed
player. I don't have any beef with Jaylen Brown. I think he's really good. and I
4
think he
years,
gets a lot of
$305 million.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. For sure. And then Tatum, I think he's bad for basketball and how he plays the game, as in I'm gonna dribble 8 times instead of swing it to the wide open shooter in the corner, just because he's so good. I get why he does it, because he's so good at making contested shots.
You say
I
Tatum?
don't like watching. Yeah, I don't like watching him play, but he's
Because he
really,
went to
really
Duke,
good.
bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's
why.
why. But yeah, just 1 through 5, I think they're by far the best in the East, and I got them at the 1 seed, probably the best overall record in the NBA.
Yep. All right. Bryden, you got Celtics too?
Celtics. Basically everything Balin said. Dude, their starting lineup, offense, defense, solid. Solid. Where they're gonna have issues, like we've all touched on, is their bench. If they don't have 1 or 2, maybe even 3 players playing with their bench at a time, they're gonna lose points every time their bench is playing. There's so many better bench teams out there. Their starting unit is very, very hard to compete with, and on paper, yes. Like Balin said, the defending champs, that's their biggest competition. If the one thing I did have noted was Porzingis staying healthy. He hasn't played a healthy season in a long time.
Yeah.
If he goes out.
Yeah, it's a different story. They'll probably plug Al Horford, which he's solid, but he's no Porzingis. We've seen what I've seen from Porzingis in the first 3 games for them. He's been insane.
Yeah.
He stretches the floor. He can block it. He can rebound. He can dunk. He does it all. And he stretches the floor for everyone else around him. So, Drew Holiday also being added. That's crazy. One of the best defensive players in the league, alongside Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Freaking Porzingis, crazy. So I have them first in the East by far. Milwaukee's a close second, but Boston is not even close.
Yep, I agree with Brian.
Yeah. I got Philadelphia as the number 1 seed, guy. I'll tell you why. Okay? Nick Nurse. Greatest coach of all time. No, I do think I do think if I think Harden possibility of still playing for the Sixers this year. I don't know why. I feel like he's a weird like I feel like he low key wants to be there. He might not. He probably won't work something out with Daryl Morey. But if even if he gets traded, I feel like this roster, if they're able to keep Embiid, Maxey, Harris, which I'm pretty sure they will, they won't package him in a trade. Just trade Harden. But I think that they'll be able to find complementary pieces, and I hope they trade him early, because then they'll actually be the 1 seed, with Nick Nurse. But I like their team, man. I think I think they have championship aspirations. If you have Patrick Beverley and PJ Tucker on the same team,
no,
you're gonna start fights. You're gonna mean business.
Have you watched them so far this year?
Yeah, I have.
Like, do you have concerns about Joel Embiid versus like someone like Tatum that seems like he's like locked in every night for 35 points?
I have issues about Joel Embiid's conditioning. Bro looks out of shape, kind of, and I feel like Nick Nurse, they run like a way faster offense, and I feel like Doc Rivers was kind of like slow down half court offense, and I feel
Doc
like
Rivers didn't have an offense. Doc Rivers said James Harden do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and then figure it out.
And then he's like, Tobias, stand in the corner, whatever you do.
Yeah.
But I think with this team, like Tobias is actually playing like how he used to play. Like he's gonna be a 20+ average scorer. I think they could have him, Embiid, and Maxey all average 20+. Well, Joel might be 30+, but I feel like that they're actually all playing well and with such confidence right now that I don't know. I really like their squad. Like last night, I know they did play the Trailblazers, but Tobias, 8 of 11 shooting, 24 points. Embiid, I won't say his shooting, but 35 points. And then Maxey at 26. So I feel like they're gonna be tough to deal with, and I like the supporting cast that they have now. And I feel like if they get some people maybe off the Clippers, like a Terrence Mann or something like that, and somebody else, I feel like they'd be able to. I would like their chances to be a top seed. I feel like Boston is not going to be as good as we thinking. Jalen, they got, like Balin said, the right hand man. Bro struggles. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, it is the East Coast, so they're not as strong as the West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In East Coast terms, they're the best.
Yeah. And we've seen some random teams come out of the East 1 seed and like not do much. Atlanta Hawks. Remember them? When they had when they had Mike Budenholzer as their coach and stuff like that.
Dude, they're like
DeMarre Carroll.
DeMarre Carroll.
Yeah. DeMarre Carroll, Jeff Teague, Corver, Horford.
Was Josh Smith still there?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
They might have had like Tiago Splitter or something. I feel like possibly.
Tiago Splitter.
Well, if you go look at those Spurs highlights with Tiago, dude could pass the rock.
That's one thing I was thinking with Giannis. Dude cannot pass the rock. When you watch him, like Lillard's wide open for 3 because everyone has the attention on Giannis. Bro throws it out of bounds, and Lillard's wide open. I'm like, bro, you're so out of control. I don't understand
Giannis
it.
relies on athleticism. He doesn't rely on.
Yeah, James Harden was right. I really like Giannis, but sometimes, man.
All right, slot in Boston at 1, right?
Yep. Boston
So then-
at 1, and then
Who's the other one? Who's 2?
So
Milwaukee?
I had Milwaukee at 4, and then you guys both had Milwaukee at 2, and then I have Sixers at 1. Somebody put Sixers at 3, and somebody put Sixers at 4.
So that means they're basically tied. Do you want to give it to Philly because they had a 1?
Sure.
Because you put them at 1?
Sure. Oh,
Beautiful.
all right. That is our list right there. Holy crap! All right, that is beautiful. I think.
It's annoying that the numbers don't line up. That's for sure.
I know. That's why I freaking put the other one at 4 the last time. I was like, what the heck? I like it. I also don't.
All right, favorite. What did we do last time, Brian? You weren't in here, but we did favorite playoff matchups, and then teams that you would move up or down based off the total. So right now we got Boston versus. God, those numbers are screwing. Is it Indiana?
Yeah, Boston versus Indiana.
Orlando versus Philly. Knicks and Bucks. Cleveland and the Miami Heat. I like Miami Heat and Cleveland right there. We get a little contentious, a little Struce back back against this old team.
I feel like that's the only good matchup, dude. New York, Milwaukee sounds boring.
Well, if you had Orlando and Philly, like that's the one higher seed that they like. Orlando could beat in 5. Like
In 5? You think they can
like,
take
those
out
teams
Joel
get
in 5?
one, and
Oh,
it
he
just
doesn't show
implodes.
up. He doesn't show up in the playoffs. You're right. What does he average? Like 15 a game in the playoffs? I'm pretty sure he does. I think he does.
I think you're right. It's not good.
I could see Boston and Indiana being a good series. Like I could see Boston, Joe Mazzulla
Boston seems
struggling
like they
to make
play
adjustments.
down all the time. Yeah, they
Yeah.
always play down.
I mean, what Hawks took him to 6 games, almost 7 last year in the first round.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could
They
totally
could
see
not
that.
guard Trae Young.
If you guys can move one team up, that's down below the 8 seed into
I'd
the
put
playoffs. Brooklyn.
I put Brooklyn, yeah. They're fun to watch. I like watching them play.
I'd put Detroit. I want to see Detroit in the playoffs. I love when Detroit's in the playoffs, man. They haven't been there in so long. That streak with Chauncey and Richard Hamilton and all of them, all the
wanna see
Wallaces.
I love seeing when Trae Young was popping off that one season with like the
New
Knicks
York,
and
yeah.
the villain dude.
That was fun.
That was fun to watch. That was fun to watch. So I would say Atlanta.
They almost made the finals that year.
Yeah, I mean they
made it to
That's not true.
They were
It
the
was a
Eastern
5-game
Conference Finals, and
It
Giannis
was
got
a
hurt.
5-game series, though, yeah.
Yeah, Giannis like
Wouldn't
broke
that
his
be
knee.
crazy if you had Phoenix versus Atlanta in the NBA?
I've watched.
Phoenix versus Atlanta. I would not watch the NBA for like 2 years. I would take a 2-year break.
The cleansing period.
What about Philly? Philly against LA.
It's almost worse.
I would probably be cheering for the Lakers.
I would be, and that would be sad.
Yeah.
Grossest series. Oof. I think the grossest, most bland basketball would be the Lakers and the Knicks.
Oh, and like
Just
a
like-
finals? Yeah.
84 to 81 every game.
Julius Randle would look like a god against LeBron. Freaking hate that. Every team looks like freaking legendary because we suck.
What was the final? They finished that game yet?
No, they're still playing.
What's the
Because
score?
it started at 8:30 our time. It's going to end at 11. I've been like looking at it, but I haven't been looking at the score. Oh,
80.
okay. That's good. Last time I saw it was 70 to 78 Magic were up. We were down by 8, so good stuff.
Magic are hanging in there though.
Yeah, and we had like a 10-point lead on them in the first quarter.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Usually we're down by 10 points in the first, but oh well. All right.
Sweet.
Loving our list, guys. Any final words? Before we end
I
this?
think we did a good job. I think this is pretty accurate.
Well, if you guys,
We'll
is
see.
James Harden going to get traded? Do you think?
I just don't know where.
I don't know
Yeah.
who's gonna take him. I don't know who's gonna be like,
Houston?
yeah, we'll take his ass.
Chicago?
Well, Houston traded Fred VanVleet for James Harden.
Oh, Udoka already said that they don't want James Harden. He said that they want their players to grow. That's what he said.
Everyone's saying the Lakers, right? I don't like.
Oh my god.
What is Philly gonna take from the Lakers?
yeah.
Austin Reeves.
Everyone was saying D'Lo, Rui, and a pick or something. But
That's not enough for James Harden. That's not enough.
It's not enough, but he's not going to play. You need something. Right? I don't... Is he just Did he just opt in for 1 year?
Yeah, just this year.
So, I mean, I feel like you just got to get something back for him. I don't know.
I'd rather get Tyler Hero back than D'Lo.
Do you think he'd fit in Miami? I don't think Miami would want that.
I feel like Jimmy has a way of just like figuring it out.
Harden's not going to show up in a fat suit if he plays for Miami. They won't allow it.
Harden's just not getting traded, dude. I don't see a team taking him. I don't see any team taking on his drama and his contract. I just don't.
Charlotte's pretty dumb, bro. They're going to package in LaMelo.
Oh, boy.
So if you're Philly, what player would you want? Like, that's reasonable. Like, obviously not like a superstar.
Yeah.
But, like, what player would you want?
Golly. I feel like
what do they need most?
I feel like you... That's tough. That's tough. I can't even think of a player now that you said think of a player.
They don't need anything because they have Kelly Oubre to do everything.
Hey, dude, Kelly Oubre, they just need someone to back him up and they're set.
Another lefty that won't pass. Let's see. They could what's the dude that beat up his girlfriend but didn't beat up his girlfriend?
Kevin Porter or Miles Bridges?
Yeah, Kevin Porter.
Oh.
I think Miles Bridges actually did, right?
Yeah, they probably both
Kevin
did.
Porter's girlfriend came out and said, like, he didn't punch me. But
I don't know what that one. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope he gets traded. I want to see him get traded, but I also would like to see him just play for Philly.
San Antonio,
just suck it up.
I like San Antonio landing spot. Keldon Johnson to
Why
Philly.
would they? Do you think they'd be like, all right?
Wembanyama and Harden.
If he wasn't like a dude that hopped teams every other year, then I could see it. But I just feel like they don't want that. He's just gonna ask right out of San Antonio.
Nobody wants. The only place he can go is wherever Doc Rivers gets hired next year.
Doc's not getting hired ever again, bro.
He's staying as a freaking commentator, dude.
Did you see Austin Rivers was like talking trash about Bronny James? He was like, only reason he's getting paid, highest paid like player in with the NIL or whatever, is because of his dad. And then everyone was like looking at Austin Rivers, and they were like, his highest contract was when his highest paid contract is when he played for his dad's team. And they're like, bro, you can't talk. And then he just got hired by ESPN, and they're like, his dad works there.
Like, Austin, what are you saying,
like,
dude?
Bro, you shouldn't be talking. But
God, you remember when the Nuggets were throwing out a starting lineup of like Marcus Howard and Austin Rivers, and then Philly's like, "Look, Jokic can't win."
I miss those days, bro.
Those were the dark ages, bro. Freaking Campazzo, Austin Rivers.
Campazzo! Hey, Campazzo
Ooh.
Somebody just went down hard. Oh, it's Cole Anthony. It's all good.
No. Doncic is still carrying the Mavs too, by the way.
I saw that, bro. He had like a 35-point triple-double tonight.
It's not Kyrie's fault. He literally just stands there and dribbles every possession.
But it works.
So awful.
But it works, bro. That's Jason Kidd's offense. It seems like it
He
seems,
just draws the dribbles on the whiteboard. Dribble here, dribble here, dribble here. dribble here.
yeah. So,
Kyrie Irving's open. Don't pass it. Dribble more.
hey, Hardaway's in the
So
corner.
like a
Don't
dot
pass
for
it.
the pass and then just an X. No.
Yeah.
No, don't even think about it.
The opposite of how Jason Kidd played is how he draws up his offense.
Yeah.
He's like, it didn't work for me. Do it this way.
Yeah, only one ring, but it was when Dirk was freaking
Yeah,
posting
stand
up
in
every
the
time.
corner.
All right, guys. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired, guys.
Happy Halloween. Dude.
Oh, yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll be back next
Yeah.
week. We'll be back.
Folks.
Hopefully, Lakers
Yeah,
don't have a
let's
losing
do it.
record. Let's go.
They will. That's fine. Let's figure something interesting to talk about. We kind of like busted everything out already.
I know. We have to.
I'll post the links on my Twitter too. I need to start doing that
Okay. Sounds good.
for sure.